It's brunch and baseball at Modern Woodmen Park, and kids from 15 different schools are in attendance on a beautiful Monday morning. Today, it's the Burlington Bees and the Quad Cities River Bandits, the rubber game of a 4-game set. The Bandits need a win to split the series. Midwest League Baseball is coming up next. Is presented by Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service. Toyota, moving forward. Blackhawk College, make it happen. S.J. Smith Company, gases, welding, safety, and industrial solutions. And by Mediacom, all of your communication needs right now. Perfect day for baseball. Welcome back to Modern Woodmen Park in Davenport, Iowa. Today, the Quad Cities River Bandits with a 15-9 record overall. The Burlington Bees 9-15. Their road mark is 3-9. The River Bandits have been very good at home at 9-3. And Johnny, as you mentioned, it's a situation where the River Bandits got off to such a great start in the season, and according to their manager, Johnny Rodriguez, they should be 20-5, 21-4 right now baseball-wise, but the bullpen has let them down on occasion.
That's been his biggest worry so far, that they haven't closed out baseball games like they should have. You know what? Everybody starts fast. We've had great weather in the Midwest, obviously. That helped. You've got California kids. They've stepped up. Everybody goes through that tough stretch. Getting swept at Kane County was a bit of an eye-opener, I believe, for this club.
And for the Burlington Bees, they are now playing much better baseball the last couple of weeks.
Yep, and they have to take care of business on the road to survive in this league. We understand that. It's 141 games, and people have to take care of business. The short turnaround is the other one, Robin, and I'd like to talk about in the Midwest League, less than 100 miles, as you know, is a commuter. And last night they played yesterday afternoon. They got home probably 7:30, 8 o'clock, and then you have to get up at 6:30 and started again on a bus. That's not supposed to happen in pro ball. That's college type stuff, but they'll make the turnaround today.
And a lot of teams around the Midwest League, and we'll talk more about that. They've gone to the Monday morning, early afternoon games just to try to get some more kids and some attendance going, and that has been a key for all the teams. And for the River Bandits, need to finish today.
Then we get back to the bullpen, and you're not going to throw the guys in the bullpen under the bus, but they need to compete. There's been some changes, and they need to close out baseball games, and I like the second one. You know what a great way to look at it. It's a full house and a great day to play in. And one of those reasons, as we talked, Rob, that they play this game is the weather in the Midwest. It's 11 o'clock and it's 70 degrees. Let's play.
And so many people get busy on Monday evenings, and it's always a tough day. And you can kind of plan it now because, well, the kids are going to come out. We've got the day off, and let's have a big day at the ballpark.
What would you rather do? Work? Let's be honest.
Well, I'll let you know about the third inning.
About the third inning. But whatever you can do to avoid work on a Monday, who better? Come to the ballpark.
And we've got a perfect morning to get this game underway, and that's how the River Bandits will line up defensively. Ingram in left field has been a pleasant surprise. Parejo will be in center, Rodriguez in right, Vasquez at third, Jackson at shortstop, Stidham is swinging a hot bat at second base, and Adams as well at first, and there you see the battery. But Stidham and Adams have been outstanding at the plate.
Stidham is a surprise to me. I didn't know if he was big, strong enough to carry on and play at this level. He's come out. He's done everything asked. Adams, is the other guy that big, strong kid. He cuts down on the punch outs. I think he can play at the next level.
And that's how the Burlington Bees will stack up. And Hilton Richardson has been on a tear as a leadoff hitter, and it's been the middle of the order. Manager Jim Gabella told me earlier this morning that has really started to make some strides. The likes of Myers and Lewis and Testa, they've been swinging a hot bat here the last 10 days, 2 weeks, and that has really helped improve their overall record.
And then we'll stay there with Myers for just a minute. There's a reason he's the third-round draft choice. He can throw, he blocks, he calls a good ball game, plus he can hit it. And that's why they expect the big things from him. And he's that anchor in the middle of the lineup who I think is the key to this club getting everything on track.
And Richardson, who we'll see first, the center fielder for the Burlington Bees, had a big day yesterday. He was a Pioneer All-Star a year ago, but 2 for 5, scored 3 runs and also drove in 2. But Kelly on the hill for the River Bandits, and he's got a real live arm.
He shoves. He can do it all. He blows Chet everywhere. This guy has a big league arm, which at this level you have to learn, as we talked about, the pitch to contact, pitch to spots, in, out, up, down. Pick up that second and third pitch, that straight change, a little cutter in and under that you can do some things with. Once he realizes it, like Shelby Miller, that you don't have to strike everybody out in this league, well, he's going to be awfully good.
And Shelby Miller pitched his best yesterday, and he's a 2009 first-round draft choice for the St. Louis Cardinals. The River Bandits are the farm team, the Class A farm team of the St. Louis Cardinals, and the Burlington Bees, the Kansas City Royals, and they have been on a tear here the last 3 years. If you're a Royals fan out there, yeah, the big league situation hasn't been great, but I'll tell you what, Johnny, what we've seen the last 2 or 3 years in A-ball, and now a lot of those players are up in Double-A. Help is on the way.
And you know what, Rob? People in this area notice, because the general manager of the Kansas City Royals is a Moline, which is part of the Quad Cities, a native of the Quad Cities, and everybody knows Dayton Moore, his years with the Braves and coming over. He'll do a great job.
And the first pitch of the game is delivered outside, and now that runs the count to a ball and a strike. Kelly, you also see a outstanding breaking ball, very loose arm as we get a look, and a swing and a miss, and Richardson down in the count.
You just saw right there the ability of his fastball. It takes off up in the zone, and he can throw it by people.
The right-hander gets set, and a check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, and a fast start for Kelly.
Richardson steps back to load, gets set, and all of a sudden the baseball's on him, and it's out outer half, and he has nothing he can do with that, and that's the first punch out of the game for Kelly. Wow.
Well, Johnny Rodriguez, the manager for the Quad Cities River Bandits, talked about how good not only was Shelby Miller yesterday, his best outing, but expected that out of Kelly today. And there's another strike to Davey Batista, the second baseman.
I'm a big fan of Johnny Rodriguez. Accountability at this level, and you just teach young people to address it the way they're supposed to. He emphasizes that every day, and he never strays from that belief, and that's why this club will be a success, and the Cardinal organization is better for Johnny Rodriguez.
Well, and Kelly doing an outstanding job working ahead in the count.
Yep. Strike one is the best pitch in the game.
That's never changed, has it?
No, it hasn't.
And swing and a miss on a high fastball, and quickly 2 up and 2 down.
That's what 0-2 will do. You get out of strike zone, you make guys change different eye levels, and pitch before a fastball outer half, and then you raise the level and you go up and under and in the 5-hole and you get him out.
You talk about Johnny Rodriguez, and he's got big league experience, the manager of the River Bandits, and there's a sign on the clubhouse as Will Myers, the catcher, at the plate for the Burlington Bees. It says control the controllable, and that's exactly what he talks about. And yes, you want to be held accountable at this level. He says that we're going to treat this like a big league atmosphere to help the young players. A lot of these guys are 18 to 20 years old, progress through the system.
High school or junior college players is most of the young men you're dealing with. And there's few 4-year guys from the college level. You need to adjust.
And strike 3, Myers goes down swinging. 3 up and 3 down for the Burlington Bees. 3 strikeouts for Kelly. He's living up to all the hype so far. 1/2 inning in the books. The River Bandits coming to bat. Burlington doesn't get anything in the top of the first and didn't hardly put a bat on the ball. Maybe a foul ball. Give all the credit to Joe Kelly. He was lighting it up over 90 miles per hour. And we talked about the fact that he has pitched well. But now is the time, Johnny. You're about a month into the season, and you can really have that warm weather help your arm, get your confidence going as you take a look at how Burlington will line up defensively. Hall and Batista at short and second. Very good up the middle with Richardson also in center.
They can pick it, and that's the strength of your ball club. You start with your catcher, who's a third-round draft pick. You go to your guys in the middle, and then your center fielder. That's where it all starts defensively. And the other thing, we talk about Myers and the ability to swing the bat. Well, you know what? He throws pretty good. Watching him throw, he's never above 2, and I haven't seen 2.0 to second base. That's pretty impressive.
River Bandits fans will see a lot of familiar names on the plate there at the starting lineup, and it starts with DeMarcus Ingram. Parejo has been here. Stidham has had a stint in the Quad Cities. So that's really helped out and helped that good start, because a lot of these players are very comfortable with the Midwest League.
They're comfortable with the league. They're experiencing that 141-2 game stretch. It's different from the short season stuff. And you know what? They're older, bigger, stronger too. So, and they understand the pro game better.
DeMarcus Ingram, the left fielder, he has been a pleasant surprise this season for Johnny Rodriguez, the manager of the River Bandits. He has done a good job putting the bat on the ball. It might not show up in his overall average, but is doing the job that a leadoff hitter should do. And the manager and player are really working hard at stealing bases, running the bases, because Ingram has tremendous speed.
And his ticket to the next level, or whatever level he might end up, is his ability. You can't steal first base. You get on base, then you steal second, third. You can add that extra notch that you need at the next level to that speed thing.
And he had a good rip there, and strike 3, so that's four strikeouts. Ingram was taking some extra batting practice before the contest, but Paukovitz, 1 faced and 1 down. We told you about his numbers, but boy, when you get a good look at him on the hill, and we will, big, strong right-hander.
Look at that big commanding body. He sits, he finishes, he gets through, doesn't drag. He may hook the ball a little behind his back, but he gets it up there in a hurry.
Record of 1-1. Earned run average at 3.18 as Parejo, the center fielder, lofts one high in the air. The kids get a kick out of that down the left field line, and there's plenty of them in attendance.
Every book buddy program, and I love that. That's neat. It's a big thing about, as you talked earlier about minor league baseball. And on that Monday, and the kids are out of school, they read their books, did a great job, and they have an opportunity to earn the right to be here.
That's a pretty good motivator, isn't it?
Well, it is. We are in May, and everybody can smell the home stretch of school anyway. So, you bet, Rob. It's a great idea. And we just saw the breaking ball too. He runs it up there in the low 90s, and he just threw a 12-6 breaking ball to Parejo that he wanted no part of.
This is just his 18th inning that he has pitched for the Bees, and a good cut and a tip foul that is held on to by Myers, and now 5 straight strikeouts. Burlington went down with 3 strikeouts, and now 2 straight to start things off. And hey, it is early in the morning.
The pitchers are under the understanding that the infielders need a little break. What? Share the wealth. Now, how often do you see? Now, this is Stidham, who's done a great job. How often do you see the third baseman up front in front of the bag with the 3-hole hitter?
Playing in on the grass. Wow.
He runs it, and he hits the baseball too. That's the other end. You have to be careful.
Stidham at 324 this year. He has 23 hits. Second stint with Quad Cities. And he has worked the count to 2 balls and no strikes. And that's one thing that Johnny Rodriguez, the manager of the River Bandits, told me this morning. Work ahead in the count. Be more patient. He thinks that maybe the last week or so they've lost that swinging on a lot of pitches early in the count. Make the pitcher work. He's trying to get them ready for advanced A ball, double A, where that's going to be necessary.
Well, that's always, and when you're going good, you're up in the count 2-0. And when you're not going good, you're always in the count 0-2. It seems like that all the time, and you put yourself in that situation. A walk will get you out of a slump.
Paukovitz delivers, and the ball hits in front of the plate. Nice stop by Myers. We've told you about him. Will Myers, a couple of great catching prospects on both sides today. He's a third-rounder 2009 draft. Here's the 3-2, lofted foul and out of play.
That's our first ball of any consequence fouled, the second one, excuse me. So, you know, the pitchers have great stuff. There's no shadows. It's bright sunshine. You've got a batter's eye to look into. You can't beat the hitting background. And a great new playing surface that Ben Kratz has done great work with.
And this one fouled straight back. Not a whole lot of wind here this morning at Modern Woodmen, but what wind there is, roughly about 11 miles per hour, is blowing out straight toward left field.
And we had rain, and it's tough to get one out of this house. You have to get it up in that jet stream. We're on the river. The ball dies.
And that pitch misses away, and good patience by Jason Stidham. And we have our first base runner of the contest.
And he'll run, and that's the other end of it. He is that three-hole guy, not a big fella, not your prototypical guy, but he can run. And now Adams can hit one from here to the park.
River Bandits, not a team that's known for a lot of speed, but do like to play aggressively, will steal these bases to try to score early.
And take an extra base. They will run on you all the time in the outfield.
And here's Adams. Big, strong left-hander has been swinging a hot bat. In a game last Wednesday over at Kane County near Chicago, River Bandits hit 4 home runs. That's a season high. Stidham, Rodriguez, and Adams. Stidham got things started in that first inning. It was a 2-run shot, even though the River Bandits lost that game 7-6. And that kind of started their struggles, getting swept by the Cougars. This hit high in the air will be playable. It'll stay on the infield. Bautista waves everybody off at the edge of the right field grass and makes the catch. So Adams is retired. So no runs, no hits, 1 River Bandit left. We have played 1 complete from Davenport. No score. We'd like to say hello to all the River Bandits and Bees fans or minor league baseball fans watching us across the country this morning on the MLB Network. If you'd like to see more River Bandits action, college action, high school baseball and softball from Iowa, Illinois, or Missouri, we invite you to visit www.mediacomcable.com, and you can go ahead and enter your zip code to see if Mediacom service and the MC22 network is available in your area. And Johnny, it's certainly a pleasure to come out and do River Bandits baseball, and this is our 5th year doing a package of games, and we love to bring everybody minor league baseball, what Modern Woodmen Park has to offer. I mean, baseball fans around the country know about this park because it's won so many national awards.
It's the best backdrop in the game. 20 years ago, I'm sitting, gotta dates me, sorry. Sitting on right down to our right with Bill Bavasi, was then the director of minor league operations for the California Angels, and he had an adult beverage and a bag of peanuts, and he said, look, I have to get away from California. It's the best trip, and I have to see the river. So he's right.
Jackson Fields over to first in time. And Joey Lewis, the designated hitter today, is retired. So 4 up and 4 down by Kelly.
Another ground ball. And that's what Kelly needs to do. He struck out the side in the first inning. Relaxed, pitched a little contact now and then. You don't want too many pitches, and nice job.
Carlo Testa, the left fielder, and he takes a pitch inside. And how important is it, Johnny, for a pitcher? Yes, Kelly's had success, but still young, trying to make his way in professional baseball, to get off to such an outstanding start.
It's huge. At every level, you're not always, you don't want to fight that battle of getting back to 500. It's between their ears. It's wins and losses no matter what. That's and how you pitch and your earned run average, and it's so many factors that figure into how you get to the next level. And you know what? They have to be able to tell people that, hey, I was 5-4. I don't want to be 1-8, and or with an earned run average of 6 or 7. So yeah, you have to learn the mature end of it. You make good pitches and deal with it as it comes.
Kelly deals and tries to hit that outside corner, just a touch outside. 265 for Carlo Testa. This is his 69th at bat so far this year. He's got 4 doubles, a couple of triples, and also knocked a couple out of the park.
Big, strong guy, too. Big, strong guy. That's the other end of it. Nobody wants to get a real job, Rob. You want to keep playing the game as long as you can. So you work whatever, you do whatever you can to help the club.
And the 3-2, and he stays alive. And it's always interesting, too, by major league club to see what type of player do they draft. They go to the college route, the big 6'2", 6'3" frames, draft out of high school, because it really makes a difference, especially in this league. And there is another strikeout for Kelly. That's 4 out of the 5 batters that he has faced.
I believe there's a school of thought that, and I'm of the belief that you take the, with no disrespect to any high school player gifted at that level, you take the college kid, whether the junior college or the junior out of a program that's at the Division I level. They're so trained so much better. They're well schooled at the Division I level or junior college. They understand some travel, the ins and outs. The only adjustment to me, I believe, is you have to adhere to club policies and deal with fines and the intricacies of rovers, and then you have to hit with a wooden bat.
Oriental lofts this one into right field. Rodriguez gives chase. He will not come up with it. And heading toward second base, and a stand-up double for Oriental, the first hit of the game, and Burlington now has an opportunity to get a 2-out rally going.
He just sat on a fastball and does what comes naturally. This ball's inner half, and he stays inside of it and just drives the ball. That ball took off. And he flat out, he double all the way. That's a nice job. The read was double the entire way.
So the 241 hitter collects his 4th double of the year. Fernando Cruz, the third baseman, will step in. See if he can't drive home the first run of the game. There is a chopper foul off to the right side. That's the school of thought that a lot of teams go after, Johnny. The opposite side of that would be that a team, say the Los Angeles Angels, would fit into this category. They go more for the young high school stars, than they want to train them up through the ranks.
They want to develop them in their system, and I understand their Angel way. And Mike Butcher's a friend of ours, the pitching coach for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, Rob, and we understand that. And but I'm of the school that they need some training before they get to you. High school kid it's tough, and you give him $3 million, and they're the whole world. You expect him to be pitching in the big leagues tomorrow. And the way of the world, a little maturity goes a long way in the game in my eyes.
Well, and the thing I like that you mentioned about that too is all the off-field stuff, the travel, having to take care of yourself. If that is swung on and tapped foul right in front of stock behind the plate, and to be able to get acclimated to that, that really helps, because you've done that at any college level.
Exactly. Well, one day you're at prom, and the next day you're pitching an A-ball somewhere, and it's night and day. That's my only indifference to drafting the great. But you know what? They know more than I do. But that's my only indifference to drafting the high school player. And I think that you understand. You get in a van at the junior college level, and you ride on a nice bus or fly at the Division I level. So there's some amenities to it that you need to acclimate you, because a lot of Division I or high caliber junior college programs, or Division III or whatever, treat it as a pro program. Not every high school program does.
Here's the 1-2, and a chopper up the middle. Jackson fires over to first in time, and Cruz is retired. So Burlington threatens in the top of the second inning. They leave 1.5 complete from Modern Woodmen, the Bees, and the River Bandits. No score. Welcome back to Modern Woodmen Park. Rob Brooks and John Marks with you. No score as we push to the bottom of the second inning. Vasquez, Rodriguez, and Shepard due up for the River Bandits. Nico Vasquez, the third baseman. Interesting story, Johnny. We've seen him now with his third stint here at Quad Cities, and it's getting better every year.
My
goodness. He hit 128 in 11 late season games in 2008. Then was sent down to short season Batavia and hit just a little bit under 200 through 61 games, and has been working hard, and lofts one into left field, and Testa camps underneath, and Vasquez is retired, but it's kind of do or die time for him this year.
Exactly. This is you can't, as you know this, Rob, you can't spend 3 stints in this league and not get to the next level. But bigger, stronger, faster and he's made it a point to improve all areas of his game, and I think he'll survive here and have success and make it to high A.
Ride Rodriguez Big right-hander first pitch swinging, fouls this one straight back and out of play.
He better retie his shoes. He did not get cheated. The whole world came unglued right there. Wow.
I watched him in the batting cage this morning. Boy, he was taking some wicked rips at it and fouls this one at the plate.
Swings it like he's, and someone told him this, you're not going to get any more. I love it.
Rodriguez just under the 200 mark at 194. But this team as a whole, the River Bandits we're talking about, has kind of gone through a stretch here the last week or so where they've hit some balls hard. It's just long season. All teams are the same, but right at the defense.
Welcome to Adam Week. Right, Adam, and then you need to win ball games like that. You need to go forward and know that tomorrow's another day.
And there's a cut and a strikeout.
Now,
and the second strikeout for Pakovitz.
Sorry, Rob. To that, though, what they're asking Rodriguez to do is maybe cut down just a little on that with 2 strikes and put the ball in play and cut down on some of those punch outs as well. You know, you enjoy if it's dead red and it's a fastball in or half to turn it loose early in the count, but you have to make an adjustment.
There's really an art, too, as Shepard, the designated hitter, hits one hard down the right field line. Oriental comes over and makes the grab. So 3 up and 3 down. A lot of swinging early in the count in the bottom of the second inning for the River Bandits. 2 complete from Davenport. No score. Welcome back to Modern Woodmen Park. Rob Brooks and Johnny Marks with you as we go to inning number 3. Just 1 hit so far as Burlington will come to the plate. It'll be 8, 9, and 1 due up, and we're pleased to have Kirk Goodman, the vice president and general manager of the Quad Cities River Bandits, who I don't know if you slept at all last night. When I got here early, there's a few thousand hot dogs running around, maybe more than that.
We got a couple hours. We had the whole staff here at 5 this morning to wrap hot dogs. We were helping clean the stadium about 6:30, so we're a little tired but energized by what we have going on here today.
Well, all in the line of A-ball.
Exactly. We were putting conditioner on the field last night, put the tarp on, wrapped hot dogs, took the tarp off, and we're good to go now.
Well, these Monday morning, Monday afternoon games, that's getting pretty popular around the league, isn't it?
Yeah, throughout all of minor league baseball, you know, Mondays are a tough draw at night, especially in the early part of the season. So if we can capitalize and bring a bunch of school kids out, we tied in with a reading program, so there's some educational aspect to it. And obviously, when you have 4,000 to 5,000 kids on a Monday morning at 11 o'clock, it's a great opportunity.
Gratitol grounds out to short, so Jared Hall will come to the plate, and the River Bandits do as good as anybody in the country about coming up with new promotions, drawing new people to the ballpark. The attendance numbers have grown every single year, Kirk, and I'm sure you've got several coming up.
Yeah, we really try to stay on the forefront of new ideas to bring to our fans. And we listen to our fans and let them tell us what works for them and what kind of things they enjoy seeing. And that's really where we develop most of our stuff. You know, we do fireworks every Friday here at the ballpark, which a lot of minor league teams do. Beer specials on Thursdays. We do concerts on Saturday nights. And this upcoming weekend, we're real excited about a new Circle of Life promotion where we're going to be unveiling, where we're going to be giving away a wedding package for new moms, a big birthing package for new moms. We're going to give away a scholarship package on Saturday. We're going to give away a wedding on Sunday, and then a funeral on Monday. So we're going to cover all 4 of the big monumental aspects
John
of
Marks
life.
can hardly contain himself over here.
I want my funeral.
He's been angling for that for a couple months now.
I think I might take that.
Everybody loves a free funeral.
Johnny's a lot closer to the funeral than most people I know, so I'm a little worried about him taking it now.
Thanks, fellas. That's right. Just kick
Boy,
the
I
old
would
guy.
never say that.
I know. Well, we go back. But you have the all-you-can-eat thing. Now, you know me. I'm a big fan of
you already have your
food.
season tickets for that night, don't you?
Yeah. I love the foot-long hot dog, the half-pound hamburger, the steak sandwich. Also, you have a all-you-can-eat night?
Yeah, every Wednesday this year is called our Belly Buster Monday. $19 gets you a ticket and all-you-can-eat buffet all night long. And you know, people are excited about that. Iowa guys aren't afraid to eat, and we're bringing it to our fans and just trying to create more value and give them more reason to come out on these nights that might be a little tougher to draw otherwise.
Well, they'll show up for that.
Yes, they will.
You run a buffet of any kind in this area, and everybody will be out. No, especially me. So.
Exactly.
But take it a step further, and as Rod, we get to walk.
Yeah,
there,
Hall on first base with 1 down, and the top of the order, Richardson.
new playing surface is and Ben Kratz, your grounds guy, does a great job, but that has to enhance everything and maybe bring you if there's a rehab project somewhere with the Cardinals?
We got our fingers crossed. You know, when they did the renovation of this ballpark back in '04, and the field was not in great shape then, and it deteriorated year after year. So we were lucky enough to work with the city of Davenport, put a brand new $569,000 playing field in here last year. It's up to Major League standards. And, you know, I think they put some better prospects in here because of it. You know, we got a little better team. And if a rehab assignment comes our way, we certainly love to have it and help some Cardinals guys get back on the field. Pujols tweaks an angle. You know, I would take
Every
the I would
Cardinal
take
fan
the
in
hit.
America just cringed.
I would take the hit, let him play here for a game or two. You know, we'll make do. We'll make do.
Mr. DeWitt, his name is Goodman.
Well, we can tell where his mind is, can't we?
Yes, yeah, at the box office.
Exactly.
But
That'll sell a ticket or two, I think.
But today's phenomenal.
It's great. I mean, we were standing down there handing out hot dogs to all these kids, and we have 4,000 kids here today. And just to see the excitement on their face getting off the bus, you know, it really tells you why you get up at 5 in the morning and why you put the tarp on every night and why we clean the stadium ourselves. It just, the excitement of these kids' eyes makes our job totally worthwhile.
And there's a ground out to the second baseman, Stidham. He goes to first, and Hall gets over to second base. So it'll be up to Bautista with 2 down, with the runner on at second, the second Bees runner that has got to scoring position.
That's the idea. And he runs well, start a runner, and get him over, get him in, see what you can do. The best thing about it was Richardson putting the ball in play and protecting the runners. So is there promotion that stands out for you?
Well, you know, the first 2 years of the stadium, since we took over ownership a couple years ago, we've done a tattoo night where we invited fans to come up, and we got a local tattoo parlor to work with us and give a free tattoo of our logo to anybody who wants one in exchange for a free ticket to sit on the berm next year. So if they get a tattoo in 08, they show their tattoo at the window, we give them a ticket to come in 09. And we thought we'd have 5 or 6. And the first year we had 27 people get a permanent ink tattoo of our logo on their body. And so, you know, we did it again the second year, figuring out our fans liked it, we'd do it again. We figured everyone in the Quad Cities who wanted one got one our first year. We rolled back with 49 permanent tattoos last year. So we're shooting for a cool century mark this season when we do it again.
So almost 80 people in the quads walking around.
Permanent advertisement. It's like a walking billboard, man. We love it.
Now all you have to do is need to change the logo.
We're not quite there
do
yet.
it again.
We are not quite to that point yet.
Here's a base hit to center, rounding third and heading for home, and sliding in safely is Hall. And on the throw, Bautista goes down to second. So the Bees, with a couple of doubles here in the top of the third, go up 1-0.
So what we're going to see is a knock. You start a runner, he gets to second base, you get him over, and you do your job. And then we see a not a smart play in center field, Rob. You've got to hit the ball. Yeah, that's why there's a cutoff guy.
Keep him at first.
Yeah, you have to keep that runner at first base. You can't let him get in a scoring position. You know you're not going to throw him out. You can't throw the ball to the catcher. He has to hit the guy in the chest or over through his head, the first baseman, hit the cutoff guy, keep the guy first. That's, you know what, he's better than that.
So Kelly was cruising right along in the first couple innings, have run into some trouble here. Will Myers, the catcher at the plate, third rounder, 2009 draft for the Kansas City Royals. He has a chance to keep the inning going with 2 down. This is playable in center. Backing up is Stidham and making a miraculous catch. Boy, I thought that ball was hit a little bit harder, and Stidham went back into shallow center field. The ball hit off the end of the bat a little bit, but Stidham saves a run. 2.5 complete. The Bees get on the board and lead 1-0. The Burlington Bees get a couple of hits and a run in the top of the third inning, and through 2.5 have taken a 1-0 advantage. We'll wrap things up here with Kirk Goodman, the Vice President and General Manager of the Quad Cities River Bandits. And Kirk, you've talked a lot about the promotion, a lot about the hard work, but you have an outstanding ownership group to work with as well.
We really do. Dave Heller and Bob Herfeld took over this team, bought it from Kevin Krause back in before the 08 season, so it's been 3 years. This is our third season. And, you know, it's been fun to be able to bring some life back to this ballpark, and there's such a love that the community has for the River Bandits, and we saw that really evidently when we got here. So under their leadership and the visions they have, and, you know, Dave's a great guy, that he's going to bring a perspective that a lot of us who've been in baseball for a long time don't have. And the tattoo night was his idea. Last year he said to us, he goes, you know what I want to do, guys? I want to put all these kids on the field, and I want to have a helicopter come over and drop marshmallows on their heads. And who thinks of that stuff? And for some,
if you know Dave Heller, you would, yes.
So, he's the type of guy, his mind's always moving.
It's crazy. And, so we found a way to get 800 kids on our outfield after a Sunday afternoon game, had a helicopter come by and drop candy and marshmallows on their heads.
Beautiful.
And, it sold a ton of tickets. People had a great time, and it created these memories. And we're all about creating memories, and these kids are never going to forget the experience they had that night.
I would think not.
Or the sugar rush they got on the way home.
Their parents.
Their parents are going to forget that.
Oh, no, they haven't forgiven you yet.
So Stock strikes out, and Ryan Jackson, the shortstop, comes to the plate. Jackson first pitch swinging. Hall fields over to first, and 2 down, and DeMarcus Ingram will try to get a 2-out rally just like the Bees had in the top of the third.
Kirk, when I come to the ballpark, and I usually have a 6-year-old in tow, this is just your basic ground ball. He gets around the ball, and the shortstop picks up nice play to a nice throw to the first baseman. I come in tow with a 6-year-old, and there's always we have a new playground coming in as well, and
yep.
Dunk tank with whose name on it?
Iowa American Water is sponsoring our dunk tank.
Marks.
John Marks will be the first culprit, and I'm going to be by about 100 baseballs to see how many times I can put you in. But one of the great things I love about baseball is that kids aren't going to sit around and watch a game for 9 innings, so you've got to give them a distraction. And we've got a ballpark that you can walk around, go stand by the side of the Mississippi River, play on one of 4 different inflatables we have. We have a new playground that's being installed by the city right now. We have a dunk tank coming up, and we're always trying to add to this ballpark. And that's one of the missions our ownership gave us was we need to make something new every single year and give our fans back something every year. So we built a tiki bar and a hot tub deck the first year. Last year we added some group areas. We've got a new deck in right field coming this year, a new concession stand in right field that we're going to be adding. So we basically want our fans to feel like every time they come here, if they come 4 or 5 times a year, they see something different, they get a new experience, and it's not just the same stuff every time they come. And that's really what we strive for every single year.
You have a concession area at kid height.
That's going to be coming up. Yeah, it's going to have a kid-sized concession stand, 2 feet or 4 feet tall, maybe $2 items. It's going to be right by the kids area. So after they run around the playground for a while, they can get a cold Pepsi and grab a hot dog, and feel like they're not scrummaging over trying to get the cookie jar off the top shelf.
Ingram lofts one into center field. Richardson on the run and can't make the catch. It's off his glove. Rounding second, heading for third, and sliding in safely is DeMarcus Ingram. Johnny, that was trouble all the way.
All the way, and no read. When the left fielder turns and looks at the center fielder, there's trouble because they both look at each other at the same time. And I think that's a hit, not an error, even though that's a ball he'll probably tell you he should catch. That's a long way to run. Ingram, boy, and he can float. So you have to give him a triple there.
And he hustled all the way.
Never stopped. And the other thing is, when he picked up his coach at third, which is the manager, Johnny Rodriguez, the first thing you do, and you teach this at every level, 2 steps beyond the bag at first, you look up, and the arm is waving, and that's good fundamental baseball. And that's why he's at third base.
So Parejo now, who struck out back in the first, has an RBI opportunity with DeMarcus Ingram on at third base as the River Bandits will try to tie the game. Kirk, one more question, and you've got your season ticket holders, you've got your big-time, long-time baseball fans, but something that you said struck me from a business standpoint. It's that person that comes 3 or 4 games. Can you get them out 5 or 6 and maybe bring a neighbor, something like that? That's really where you start to create the buzz around the ballpark. Exactly.
Baseball is a very social game, and you want to make sure that you're giving people something to talk about. And our goal is that if you come to a game and your friend doesn't come with you, the next time they come, you're going to have to tell them, hey, you want to see what these guys, you missed what these guys did last time. You got to come here more often. And really, that's what we're trying to get, is just the frequency and the more bodies we can get every single game.
And Parejo grounds out to short, and that will do it for the River Bandits in the third inning. They leave one. Kirk, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you being here.
Thanks for all of your hard work. It's been a long day already. 3 complete. Bees on top. 1-0. Rob Brooks back at Modern Woodmen Park, Davenport, Iowa. We have played 3 complete. The Bees on top of the River Bandits, 1-0. 1-2-0 for Burlington, 0-1-0 for the Bandits. Pleased to be joined by Tommy Thrall, the Director of Media Relations and also the voice of the River Bandits, joining us for the fourth inning. You've seen this team all season long, and boy, they got off to a nice start, didn't they?
They really did. They started off the season playing as well as they possibly could have, and I think a lot better than a lot of people expected them to be playing when they broke camp. I think a lot of people knew that they had the pitching, just the hitting was in question, and it was the pitching that carried them for a while. Then the hitting got going, and things kind of fell off a little bit.
But it's a long season, and that's certainly going to happen.
Absolutely. First pitch misses way inside to Lewis. 1-0 the count. And it's really been, more than anything, the bullpen has kind of been the letdown lately. And kind of heard you guys talking about it earlier on. And that's what's hurt them more than anything. The starting pitching's still been there. The bats have leveled off a little bit as Lewis spoils the 1-0 pitch, evening the count of the ball and a strike. And the offense has kind of leveled off. They started off really slow, and then got things going and have kind of slowed back down. They're hitting just under 200 over the last 5 games. As Lewis hits one on one hop past the shortstop Jackson, and that's going to get into center field. So Lewis begins the fourth with a base hit. That's just the 3rd hit of the game for the Bees. And now Carlo Testa.
We'll talk about Joe Kelly on the hill for the River Bandits, obviously one of the top pitchers in the St. Louis Cardinals organization. He has done a tremendous job, and you mentioned, and Johnny Rodriguez, the manager, told me before the game as well, this is as good a collection of arms as there is anywhere in the Cardinals minor league system.
It really is. Here's the first pitch, way wide. And Joe Kelly is a guy that he's not really listed as one of the top 30 guys by Baseball America necessarily, but he's up there still in the eyes of the organization for what he can do. And actually, no, I stand corrected. He is up there. I was getting him mixed up there a little bit. The 1-0 pitch hit down the left field line, but this one's going to go well foul. But Kelly actually number 21. So you think of the top 10 guys as being the really high prospects in an organization. Well, a lot of times those guys that are a little lower, and sometimes not even in the top 30, can still emerge and really become a presence in an organization. I think Joe Kelly's one of those guys. I don't think they knew a whole lot about him, and I think the reason that he's not one of the top prospects is because he didn't do a lot of pitching in college. 1-1 waved at and missed. So Testa down to the count, of ball and 2 strikes now, but Kelly has really proved himself this year. The most runs he's allowed in any start, 4. That was against Beloit a couple appearances ago, but throws hard. He's got good action, good stuff, and we're seeing it today. Struck out the first 3 batters he faced and 4 out of the first 5.
When Johnny Rodriguez talked about a loose arm, and that's a pretty good compliment for a pitcher.
And that's what Sean and I were talking about in the radio booth a little bit earlier, is this is probably the most free and easy he has been all season, and his arm has been very loose today. And you guys have picked a good day to see him because it has been outstanding. But some of the other arms that you were talking about, Shelby Miller's a guy that's been fun to watch this year too. He had one of his best starts yesterday, and he's been up and down this year. Don't know what Shelby Miller's going to have on any given day, but the problem with him so far is this one's way wide, and the count fills up on Testa. Man on with nobody out here in the 4th inning, but Shelby's just been a little bit inconsistent. He's got the fastball. There's no secret about that. It's in the mid to upper 90s when it needs to be. But it's his off-speed and breaking stuff that's been his problem. They put the runner in motion, and the ball's hit to the right side. A little trouble with it for Stidham, but he's able to recover and get the out at first. Lewis, meanwhile, to second.
A nice thing about Stidham right there was he stayed calm, didn't panic, and made sure that he kept that ball in front of him and made a good throw instead of rushing the throw and throwing it into the Bees dugout.
And that's always the nice thing about playing second base. You have a little more time to adjust and correct after that. After maybe misplaying it initially. And Stidham had a rough night a couple days ago. Made a few errors and still got the job done offensively. Johnny Rodriguez likes to describe him as a professional hitter. Here's Rene Oriental, and he looks at a first pitch strike. The right-hander Joe Kelly. But there are, you talked about the arms a little bit, and Derek Hooker missed most of the season last year. He's been fun to watch. Calhoun's been well. We'll see him a little bit later on this afternoon. Kelly ready with the 0-1. And this one rolled to third. There's Nico Vasquez going to his left. Low throw, and Adams can't pick it out cleanly. So Oriental will reach on the error by Nico Vasquez. He had plenty of time, but Vasquez just throwing that one in the dirt. And now first and second, a little bit of trouble here for Kelly with one out.
And this is a situation where Kelly will want to get that second out as soon as possible, but if you're Johnny Rodriguez and the River Bandits, you want to be able to manage this inning. You're already down 1-0 as we're creeping toward the middle part of the ball game. You don't want to go down 2, 3, 4-0, even though this team has shown the ability to come back, but you want to try to manage and have Kelly learn how to get out of these jams.
And Rob, a lot of times what you'll see in a situation like this, especially with young pitchers, is they try to make the perfect pitch on every pitch. And what happens when you do that is you leave a pitch out over the plate, and then you really get hammered, and that's when the big inning kind of opens up. So we'll see how Kelly responds here. Missed with the first one, but this one's waved at and missed. It's a ball and a strike on Cruz. Ideally, you'd like to get a double play, and he wants to keep the ball down, and it looks like the strategy is to keep the ball down and away here from Cruz. Early on in the at-bat, as the last pitch was a fastball, about knee-high on the outer edge. We'll see what he goes with here on 1-1, and wants to see the signs again from Robert Stock. But Stock's another guy, a young catcher that they have a lot of trust in behind the plate. There's a well-located fastball right on the outside edge for strike two. Big pitch there by Kelly. Stock handles this pitching staff well. They have confidence in him behind the plate, and that's important because they're kind of looking for him possibly to be the catching future in St. Louis.
Well, he's a tremendous athlete.
And if the catching doesn't work out, they want to see what he can do on the mound. The 1-2 pitch, way outside.
And he pitched a lot in college.
Yeah, he did. I was talking about Kelly earlier. One of the things that I think kind of keeps him back as a prospect is the fact that he didn't pitch a lot in college. He was primarily a closer. It was kind of something he just did really midway through his college careers where he became more focused on pitching, and that's when he kind of realized, hey, this is what's going to be my meal ticket. This one's way high. It gets off the glove of Stock. This is going to move the runners up a base. So Lewis to third base. Oriental down to second base on a wild pitch by Joe Kelly. So much for that double play we talked about, huh?
That wipes that one out anyway, unless it's some unconventional way that it's done. But Kelly on a pitch count of right around 75 today has started to labor here the last couple innings after spectacular ball innings 1, 2, and parts of 3.
Robert Stock getting a little equipment adjustment, looks like, in the dugout. He's ready to go again. Yeah, you want to see him get out of this inning as quickly as possible with that wild pitch, erasing the possibility of the double play. Now kind of opens up the possibility of a big inning, and now it's damage control time. Nobody's scored yet in the inning, but they're certainly threatening with 2 on and 1 out. The payoff, swing and a miss. Fastball down and in, got it by Cruz, and he strikes out, and that is a huge out here in the 4th inning.
Yeah, if you're Fernando Cruz, you won't be happy with that at bat. Anything to the right side probably scores a run, but just was unable to do it. And well-timed strikeout by Kelly. That is his 4th and 1st since the second out of the 2nd inning.
2 away, Gratterall the batter. Juan grounded to short his first time up as he looks at a breaking ball off the plate away. 1-0 on Gratterall. Bandits need to get the bats going one way or another. We're talking about how they need to get out of this inning against the Bees. And they want to keep Burlington off the scoreboard. Well, they got to get on the scoreboard themselves in order to have a shot today, something that's been hard to do at times this year. On the ground to Stidham. He's got it. And the inning comes to a close.
So the River Bandits manage it well, and the Bees strand 2. 3.5 complete. The Bees threatened once again, but still only command a 1-0 advantage. Bees don't get anything in the top of the 4th inning. River Bandits still looking for their first run. Rob Brooks, welcome back to Modern Woodmen Park. Tommy Thrall, the Director of Media Relations for the River Bandits, also the voice of the ball club, helping us out here in the 4th inning. And always fun when you know you have a long season, Tommy, and the fact that the River Bandits got off to an outstanding start. Yeah, things have slid here a little bit the last week, but positioned the team tied for first right now with Peoria, and that just makes it a lot more fun, especially in the first half.
Oh, it really does, and if you can win that first half, it really builds. You're kind of able to set things up for the postseason. heading down the home stretch towards the playoffs, and it kind of lets you put your pitching staff together how you want. Stidham swinging to the first pitch here. Rolls it to the first baseman, Gratterall, who feeds it to Pakovits for the out, 3-1. That'll bring up Matt Adams. But, yeah, you're right. You always want to try to win the first half. Takes the pressure off, then you kind of can go on cruise control in the second half. It's one of those things that a lot of folks aren't really used to, that are kind of new to minor league baseball and how the season is divided up into two halves. And it's the first and second place teams here in the Midwest League that go to the postseason, so in each division. So you kind of want to be up there, if not at the top, near the top. Adams takes low.
And I think a lot of organizations, and the Royals and the Cardinals would certainly fit into that category, that's not the most important thing in the world to win at this level, but you want to build winners, winning attitudes, teams that have won championships through the minor leagues just because they have that mindset. Yes, first and foremost, player development is the absolute key, but second's got to be, and a close second, winning games.
Pop up by Adams, and this one will be controlled by Cruz just outside the third base line. And it's funny you mentioned that, Rob. I've got a good friend of mine that recruits for a college basketball team, and that's one of the things he mentioned to me the other day. I was asking him how the recruiting was going as Vasquez steps to the plate, and one of the things he told me, we got 4 guys that are coming in, incoming freshmen that just won state championships. And he was so excited about that because they've already got that winning attitude. Well, you can kind of look at the same thing here in minor league baseball, where you want to build guys, like you said, you want to build winners. The Braves, coming from the Braves organization, that's one of their mentalities that they like to have. They want guys to win at the lower levels, so they're used to it when they get to the big league, so they know how to handle the pressure that comes along with winning, because it's a whole different ballgame. And now Vasquez swings and gets a hold of one to left. This one has a shot as Testa goes to the warning track. At the wall leaps, it's gone. A tie ball game. Nico Vasquez driving one out of here to left.
And there is a player, Nico Vasquez, that has been coming on this season. His third stint here at the Quad Cities, and it's a big year for him. And certainly Johnny Rodriguez has liked what he has seen so far. He's hitting right around 280, but showed some power there, and that's why the organization is stuck with him.
And Vasquez, a guy who has struggled this year against Burlington, so that's got to feel kind of extra good for Nico. He only has 1 hit this year against the Bees. That's just his second hit, and both extra base hits. His first one was a double yesterday, and now the home run. Ironically enough, though, Nico against the Bees this year has a higher on-base percentage than anybody else on the team against Burlington. Now Ride Rodriguez. This one thrown behind him, and Ride shoots a look out to the mound. And the plate umpire will try to settle down Ride Rodriguez a bit. Jeff Woods, I think, saying something to Ride after he shot a look out to Pakovits.
That was almost behind him.
It was, I think, yeah, it was certainly close, and Ride didn't like it. He's 0 for 1 today, struck out his first time up.
Going back to Vasquez, that plate discipline has been a huge factor in his third stint here. We talked earlier about just 11 games with the River Bandits in 2008. Hit a .128, then was sent down to short season Batavia. Still was under 200 there. I mean, you talk about a guy, as this is fouled off at the plate, off of Rodriguez, that keeps coming after it and keeps working hard and giving himself an opportunity, because that's not easy to go up and down, back and forth, especially short season ball versus Class A regular baseball. You really want to take that step.
Off the mound, deflects a little bit to the right, but Bautista able to recover, and the second baseman throws out Ride Rodriguez. The inning comes to a close.
Tommy, thanks so much for your help.
Hey, thanks a lot, Rob. I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun.
Enjoy the rest of the game. You got the River Bandits a run. Through 4, we're tied at 1. The Quad Cities River Bandits tie things up. Nico Vasquez, a long home run over the left field fence, and we're tied at 1 through 4 innings of play. Don't forget that the Quad Cities River Bandits return to MC22 on Tuesday, June 8th, as they kick off a 3-game series with the South Bend Silverhawks. Mediacom is proud to bring our new MC22 viewers in northern Indiana a look at a team from their area in the Silverhawks' first and only trip right here to Modern Woodmen in the 2010 season. Tune in at 7 o'clock Central for all the action right here on MC22.
Okay, who gets knocked down first?
How about that pitch to Rodriguez?
Yep, welcome.
Where was that?
Where was it? Or what was it? It was on purpose is what it was. And may not be right now, but someone's going to wear one. Nice
And
bunt.
there's a drag bunt down the third baseline, and Vasquez can't handle it. And the speedy Hall reaches for the second time.
Great bunt. Great read, great bunt. Perfect surface to do it. No matter if Vasquez could have shook, it could have been shaking hands close enough, and he still would have beat that.
It's kind of a lost art, Johnny.
Yep.
When you look at the sacrifice situation, so many players at this level just don't take the time
At
to
any
develop
level.
it.
No.
And that's a perfect drag bunt, and you love to see that for a base hit.
For any time. And if you, as a lefty, if you can learn to bring one with you or push it down the third base line, it's an art, and it will add 40 points to your batting average. I don't care what you hit in the order. You can do it. Then the sacrifice needs to. Kids can't do it today either.
Here's Hilton Richardson, the center fielder. Check throw to first, keeping an eye on the shortstop, Jared Hall. Richardson was huge yesterday in that Bees victory. Richardson 2 for 5, scored 3 runs, and drove in 2. Good production out of a leadoff hitter, and a quick throw over, and they're making sure that Hall doesn't start leaning toward the bag at second.
Well, what I don't understand is, are you going to run here? Are you going to hit and run here, or are you going to bunt? Are you going to get him over, try to get him in that way? So you can take one less step and extend your secondary instead of get picked off.
And there's a bunt attempt foul.
So if you're Hall, you need to. I would take that one step back, give the hitter an opportunity to get the ball down, and then go to work.
Richardson at 239 for the season. The Bees at 236 as a team. Has 1 double, 2 triples, and 2 home runs. Kelly, another look over there. That's 3 times they've gone to first, and boy, he's throwing over there hard too.
I'd go to the plate and take the out right here. Give yourself an opportunity to field the ball and get an out. They want to bunt.
Well, the River Bandits, the last inning, did a terrific job in managing that inning.
Yep.
It's getting closer and closer.
Had him. And I still don't understand it. If you're going to steal, if this is a hit and run situation, you're going to fine. But it's more running and then hitting. You're not there to steal the base.
Richardson struck out in the first and grounded to second back in the third inning. Kelly goes to the plate. This pitch misses outside, 2-1.
Now they're going to hit and run. 2-1 is always a better count. 0-1, 1-1, always a better bunt count. 2-1 is a great hit and run count.
Here's the 2-1. The runner takes off, and a slow roller to Jackson at short. The throw will be late, and the Bees will have runners on at first and second.
All you have to do is put the ball in play, and with the speed that they have with Holland and at the top, they're awfully good. Boy, they can create problem with Richardson and Hall the way they run. And now you have to bunt with Davey Batista.
And Batista has been swinging a hot bat. He's 1 for 2, but certainly got to get the runners over to second and third with nobody out in a tie ball game.
Nice job by Kelly. Swing move, spin move, stop legs, stop feet, everywhere.
And you wonder if Kelly's starting to reach that pitch count. He's on a 75 pitch count today, has labored the last couple of innings. And now digging for third and sliding in safely. Nobody manning third base. And Hall decided to take off. Gutsy move.
Gutsy move.
Now we've got runners on the corners.
Well, every time this you bunt through a ball, this happens. Somebody gets hung out to dry, but Vasquez didn't get back in time, and then you have to run. that's the problem with bringing your third baseman in on a bunt situation. And now you got first and third and a whole different defensive situation. And they'll run, and they might hit and run here. Or run and hit.
Burlington has swiped 31 bases so far this season. Bautista awaits the 0-1. Pitch hits the inside corner.
Big time pitch, big time. You've got a guy on first that can run. He may break. So what do you throw a curveball that slows up everything? Great job.
Well, Kelly really helped himself out back in the fourth inning, striking out Cruz. That was a key second out in that inning. And here's a tapper to Vasquez. Only play is over to first. Gets the out, and Richardson over to second base.
That's a nice job. And you talked about the 75 pitch limit for Kelly. And this is a guy that at Irvine, at UC Irvine, was a closer. So, and he's making that adjustment with the Cardinals to try to be a starter. I still believe eventually he'll be a closer at whatever level he finishes at or gets to. And now, what do you want to do? Do you want to pitch to the guy, which is Myers, or do you want to walk him? And then create the force.
Well, we told you about Will Myers, one of the top prospects in the Kansas City Royals organization. And they've got a lot of their top prospects at AA on down. Myers, a third rounder in the 2009 draft. He's the highest ranked player by Baseball America in the Royals top 30.
He's pretty good.
Number 3 prospect right now. See what he can do here as he takes a strike on the outside corner. 0 for 2 so far. Flew out to Stidham at second and also struck out to end the first inning.
He's going to have to change that batting stance when he gets to the next level. He's going to have to load a little sooner to catch up with guys throwing the ball 95.
And he ropes this into left field. That's going to score 1. 2 will cross the plate, and digging for second and heading for third. And a stand-up triple by Will Myers. Ingram and Pareo had a tough time coming up with that ball as it went all the way to the wall.
And the ball skipped on that outfield grass, and it's a little wet, and it took off. A hanging breaking ball, you think's a single, all of a sudden you think a double, and this ball just scoots. You just got away with beating him with a fastball away. And then you hang a breaker, and then he sits on it, does whatever comes naturally, and then ends up with a triple. Great at bat by Meyer.
Boy, did he smoke that one to left field.
It took off. It just took off.
Well, that's the fun thing about minor league baseball, talking about all the great prospects that will have a chance to make their way to the big leagues. You get a look at them early. And this is certainly one name in Will Myers to keep your eye on.
Yep, we will see him wearing royal blue at the number 1 level someday, at the top level.
Here's Lewis. Hits one to the right side. Stidham keeps it in front of him. Once again, didn't panic and gets that second out.
I think you have to break on that ball. I think you have to break on that baseball. With all due respect to Myers, I think as soon as the ball is hit to the left, hit to the right side, you have to break there. And the second baseman going to his left.
Officially, Will Myers will be credited with a double and takes third base on an error by Ingram in left. This one slapped foul. Carlo Testa, the left fielder. Several left-handed hitters in this Bees lineup that has been swinging hot bats as of late. Look at the River Bandits, hitting just over 200 at 204. 236 for Burlington. And Jim Gabella the longtime manager of the Burlington Bees in his 6th year, 7th with the Kansas City Royals organization. Coaching third base, hoping to get that runner in at third. That's Will Myers.
He's found a home in Burlington, Jim Gabella. What a wonderful
great baseball man.
Great baseball guy, wonderful fella, and we've had an opportunity to talk with him on many occasions. Hey, pulled up stakes and planted in Burlington, Iowa. Beautiful.
Not to say that he'll be there every single year, but 80% of the time, certainly.
Boy, it just adds some stability in an organization. And now, if you're Kelly, you have to finish. You have to finish right here because they're gonna make a change. If he doesn't get this, this is probably his last hitter.
Here's the payoff pitch. And a strike 3 called. He painted one on the outside corner. So Kelly does get out of it, but some damage done by the Burlington Bees. They plate 2 and lead it 3-1. Rob Brooks and John Marks back with you from Modern Woodmen Park. We move to the bottom of the 5th. 6 hitters come to the plate for Burlington in that top half where they get 2 runs. And John, Gerald Hall got that started with that nice little drag bunt down the third baseline and let the top of the order do their jobs.
And then you saw what happens after with some speed when you can start runners. They ran a hit and run that they executed, that both guys were safe. They got an opportunity when they missed a bunt, and they bunted through a ball, and Stock made a great throw for the Bandits, and an opportunity. The guy beat the tag at third.
Shepard lofts one high in the air, playable in center field, and Richardson makes the catch.
You know, Rob, all these years I've seen balls die, blowing in or out here. And it's just a little different animal with day baseball. Vasquez's ball just got up in that jet stream and just took off. And there's balls carrying, once it gets in the air, that I had no idea they would.
No, you're right. We have seen that throughout the years. A huge difference.
Take the night and day, literally.
Well, here's Robert Stock. And when you talk about prospects and guys moving forward, he's one of them to keep your eye on as well.
Second round draft choice, and it was nice to see. We saw Brian Anderson when Jason LaRue got hurt for the Cardinals, stick with the club and do some nice things, and then once he got back to trips, got a big hit the night he got back. So they are stocked. Brian Anderson, I think, can play at that level, and so can this young man someday.
And Stock will be retired by his counterpart, the catcher Myers, but Stock has not necessarily been a guy that's played a lot of catcher, pitched a lot in college.
A lot, and you make that adjustment to he swings it well enough. Bobby Thigpen always comes to mind as somebody who I thought would have been he had the saves record till Rodriguez beat it, but I always thought that he could have been an everyday big league player, either a first baseman or an outfielder. So yeah, if you can pitch and hit and throw, hey, there's a spot. But he throws it. Stock throws it well too.
You see that a lot in minor league baseball, where a position player will give an attempt to pitch if you've got a live arm, or if you can't get guys out, you're a good athlete, might find yourself somewhere else.
Trevor Hoffman was, and you know this from in Cedar Rapids when he was in Billings, was a scatter arm shortstop who couldn't hit very well. Well, you know what? Greatest one of the greatest closers, maybe if not the. Troy Percival is another one.
That's right. Hits one on the ground, and that's going to be an error on the shortstop Hall. Took his eyes off it, but good speed on the base paths.
Troy Percival is the other one we were talking about. This is just the ball rolls up his arm. This is get him over, field in front, and just simply rolls up the arm, and that's the loneliest feeling in the game right there. Routine. Now Ingram, he gets another knock like he did last time, and the Bandits are within one.
Jared Hall playing deep at short. Ingram takes a pitch upstairs for ball one. Had that triple back in the third and also struck out in the first. And interesting prospect because he's got a lot of tools, especially that speed, and has done a nice job in left field.
He's caught in between. I always thought with his body size that either do you become the speed guy, or do you make that decision to become the power guy? And at the big league level, Curtis Granderson is always the quandary to me. Does he want to hit 260 all his life and hit 30 home runs, or does he want to steal 40 bases and hit 300? And I think Ingram is that kind of guy, and I always thought that he would flip over to the other side and be that switch hitter.
Now, that'd be a huge advantage for a guy like that with his speed to hit from the left side. 239 so far this season, and takes a pitch up and in, and all of a sudden the River Bandits have runners on at first and second, trying for a 2-out rally.
It's been a tough defensive day for Parejo. Now that might be the big time to pick his club up with a knock here and get them either back one or even things up.
Driven in 6 runs so far this season. RBI opportunity. Johnny Rodriguez, the manager of the River Bandits, coaching at third base, has preached the last couple of days, make the pitcher work. Don't swing too early in the count. Find something you like. Easy to say, all managers say it, but boy, he's got the discipline.
Right here. This is perfect. It's got to be one pitch in one spot when you're 2-0. The pitcher's struggling. He just walked a guy. That's 6 out of 7. Sit right there. Sit dead red. A ball right. It's got to be inner half and drivable. Or it's ball 3.
And that pitch well outside, and there is ball 3. And well, you go back to that pitching mentality,
I know,
John, and here you get a ground ball to short, should be out of the inning, and you know that's always sitting in the back of the pitcher's mind.
Oh, and then because it's a mental nightmare for them. And now he's 3-0. Well, he just got a gift from the umpire too. That's ball 4.
Yeah, certainly nothing to swing at.
Nope. No, not a drivable ball. But now here, again, in this situation, I would make him throw another one.
And this pitch misses low, and the bases are loaded. So far, nobody up in the bullpen for the Burlington Bees.
Welcome to your ball game, Mr. Pakovitz. 70, he's 70, and 40 and 30 is not that 2.5 to 1 that you're looking for. But he's been around the dish most of the ball game until now.
Gave up that solo home run to Vasquez back in the 4th inning. Other than that,
he's done a great
hit.
job. Yep. He's got a spot of trouble here. And you don't blame your teammate, but you're in the back of your mind saying, boy, pick up an easy ground ball.
You know it's still working on his mind.
It's in every pitcher's grill. It's in every player's grill. They don't want to be the guy to make that mistake.
And not an easy batter to face here in Jason Stidham. 0 for 1 officially, walked back in the 1st inning. Has been very consistent this season. One of 2 players singled out by his manager as being the most consistent player at the plate. Pakovitz misses outside. Stidham, selected by the Cardinals in the 8th round of the 2009 first-year player draft, joined the River Bandits late June of last year and hits one on a rope, but right at Batista at second base. That's what we've talked about the last week or so for the River Bandits, hitting it pretty hard, but right at the defense. So Quad Cities threatens in the bottom of the 5th inning. No runs to show for it. 3-1 Bees. Three, 6, and 1 for the Bees. 1, 2, and 2 for the River Bandits. Joe Kelly, who started the game for the River Bandits, his day is done, but showed us, John Marks, some good stuff.
Oh my goodness, he's got big league fastball. He hung a breaking ball to Myers, and that cost him 2 runs. He pitched 5 innings, gave up 6 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, had a walk and 6 strikeouts. And wow, he has just got amazing stuff. But on to replace him is Daniel Calhoun for the 5th game this season. 0-0 3.45 earned run average. Excuse me. He started 2 ball games, 15 2/3 innings pitched, 20 hits, 6 runs, all earned. He's got 2 walks and 12 punch-outs so far. So on for, in relief of Joe Kelly, is Daniel Calhoun, the left-hander.
And this is something, if you follow River Bandits baseball, the St. Louis Cardinals organization, they'll use 2 pitchers in this situation.
Always, and it's a piggyback rule, and why tempt it with a young man's arm until he gets to the big leagues?
A few dollars invested
yes, there
in
is.
those arms.
No matter what. What was that? And the figures years ago, no matter what level, they have $1 million invested. No matter what the bonus was, $1 million invested in every player through a million things of instruction and living and et cetera.
Oriental, the right fielder, has reached a couple of times, doubled back in the second, and also reached on an error in the fourth. And that's certainly something that has changed. If you follow minor league baseball, the signing bonuses are a lot higher than they were 15, 20 years ago. I mean, you're looking at 6, 7,
Yep.
8 million if you're the top pick.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah, but it is, and then you are coddled / babied to make sure that the club gets his investment back.
And there's a line shot past Vasquez at third and into left field, and that'll be a base hit.
There wasn't a whole lot you can do. That ball just stayed down on Vasquez. He took that 2 steps to the left side, and the ball actually went under his glove. You're thinking, well, this might come back up, and it just skipped and stayed down, and a knock for Oriental.
So he's on at first, and Fernando Cruz comes to the plate. He's 0 for 2 today, struck out in the fourth, and grounded to Jackson back in the second inning. He was the final out of that inning. 3-1 in favor of the Bees. This is a team that got off to a terrible start. They were in last place until this weekend, when they've actually passed the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. Still Burlington at 9-15, and they've won 6 out of their last 10, 2 in a row, so that tells you something.
Yep, and the other thing of it is, that surprises me because this, a veteran club, and they've got a solid nucleus, and the weather has not been bad in the Midwest, Rob. You know, everybody who's the California kid or the Florida kid that ends up in the Midwest League struggles that first month because it's 42 degrees and windy on a Tuesday night somewhere, and they haven't had that problem. We haven't had that kind of weather. Thank goodness.
Jim Gabella told me, the manager of the Burlington Bees, this morning, that the team's been hitting pretty decent, consistent for the most part, but it's been that relief pitching that has really let them down. They've taken several leads into the 8th, 9th inning. River Bandits, they will tell you the same thing. That's certainly something that's got to get better. And that bat heads out toward the mound, and Calhoun slow in getting up.
I don't think it was so much the bat hitting him. I think he fell on his shoulder when he went down.
Yeah, it looked like it slipped under and he jumped over the bat. Cruz gives him a little pat on the back.
Nothing personal. The ball slips out. No, that's. Wow.
Acrobatic move by Calhoun.
It was pretty nice. You know what? I think the American judge will give him like a 9-3. You can never trust. You don't know what the Soviet judge. I mean, here it is. No, just a slide step. Bat releases. Here we go. Foot. Nah, look at that.
Didn't even touch him.
Not even close. And I think what hurt him was when he fell on the shoulder on the front side. So artistic value is a 9. Athletic ability is a 9.3. And landing is about a 6.5. But, wow.
Should have been a hurdler. Vasquez goes to second, over to first. They turn to outstanding defense by Quad Cities.
There's your pitcher's best friend. Whatever goes wrong, he misses the bunt, doesn't get his job done, and then he hits a ball hard, and Vasquez turns it over, and you get the ball in the middle. A nice catch and throw by Stidham. Get your ground ball. There you go. Pitcher's best friend. 5-4-3.
And there's a smash to Jackson. Takes his time over to first. And the side is retired. So the double play ball gets the River Bandits out of a mini jam in the top of the 6th. 5.5 complete from Modern Woodmen. 3-1 Bees. MC22 is proud to announce their coverage of the May 26th Bettendorf Pleasant Valley High School baseball matchup hosted by the Quad Cities River Bandits. You can tune in that week to catch replays of the Mississippi Athletic Conference rivals battle in the beautiful confines right here at Modern Woodmen Park. You can also visit www.mc22.net, brand new outstanding website for Mediacom connections, for replay times and future games available only on Mediacom's MC22. Matt Adams, the first baseman. A couple of flyouts to Batista at second. And you're right, nobody up in the bullpen for the Bees. Hawkovitz has pitched well, and it looks like he's going to go here for a little bit.
For a while, yep. At least through this.
It's lofted high in the air, out of play, and a souvenir for all the kids down the left field line. Be a pretty good scramble for that.
Yeah, there we go. Great way to spend your afternoon.
Left field, Testa camps underneath and hauls it in. A lot of fly ball outs for Hawkovitz today.
Movement up in the zone. Balls, guys leaving balls above their hands and not being able to handle them. And, he's been in our half all day. He's a nice job there. We made light of the ball he threw behind Rodriguez after Vasquez home run.
And just his second home run of the year.
See if he can double up here. Get his club right back in it. Only down 2.
And this is a team, too, Johnny, as you well know, that Johnny Rodriguez, the manager, has praised his team for comebacks.
Yep.
They've been down early in some games and fought back, and actually had the tying run on yesterday in a tough loss. But that's something that you instill and demand as a manager, and it's a mindset for kids. You can't, if you're down in the 4th or the 5th inning, tomorrow's another day. You got to grind it out.
A lot of outs. And that's the other thing. This club has come back in 6 or 7 times in the 8th and 9th inning and won, especially really early, the first couple weeks.
And a base runner for the River Bandits.
I think that Hawkovitz only flaw is occasionally when he gets in a hurry, he gets across his body and the ball runs away. But other than that, he's pretty good in the zone. He's been pounding the zone most of the day.
Well, this is only the 5th game that he has pitched in and thrown 17 innings in a Bees uniform so far.
Now, if Rodriguez can show a little patience here, Rob, he'll get a fastball to sit on. Because now there's action and
guy's starting to have some movement down in the right field bullpen area for the Bees.
There it was.
And he knew it.
Yep, and he pulled off it just a bit. Little head movement, front side got open, and he fouls the ball. Souvenir right side. But if he stays on, there was his fastball. He stays on that. He drives that middle right center.
Got a couple of home runs this year, 10 driven in. Still working on that average. Had a cut. And the count is now 1-2.
Nice move. Nice thing to do if you're a pitcher. Once you miss and you get away with that miss, change the eye level, run the ball up and under. And then break him.
Rodriguez didn't bite, and that'll even the count at 2-2. Rodriguez struck out in the second and grounded to Batista at second. Last out of inning number 4.
It's huge for his club right now to get full, not give in, get to the 3. It's 2-2, get 3-2, or put a ball in play.
1 down, 1 on. Hit high in the air. Testa hauls it in for out number 2. Testa with a couple of putouts in the 6th inning.
I'd start a runner here if I would give him an opportunity. Shepard is a guy that can lead off and start an inning. If you don't, and you get a stolen base, steal one on a pitcher, steal one on the catcher, whoever, and then you get a guy in scoring position.
So it'll be up to the designated hitter, Shepard. Flew to right and flew out to center to lead things off in the 5th inning.
Now, if he gets the out here, does Pakovits get the ball for the 7th inning? Do you go back out? There's the other end of it.
Well, I don't know. Finally, some action in the Bees' pen.
He's kind of guiding the ball right now. I think the gas meter is closing in on empty.
I got to think this is probably it.
Well, he's got to be close, and I don't have the pitch count. He's got to be around 100.
But trying to get that big 3rd out.
That was a ball was out of strike zone too.
Stock would be next. If the River Bandits can keep it going. And a swing and a miss. Had some good rips.
They've had a lot of good hard swings at him all day, but haven't produced a lot with only 2 hits.
Won a home run as they check the runner back at first. Now the 2 hits have been hit hard. There hasn't been any bleeders in the infield.
The triple and the homer.
But you certainly need to put more together than just those 2.
Got frozen.
Yep, sure did. Beautiful pitch by Pakovits. Maybe he does come back in the next inning.
May have earned himself.
6 complete from Modern Woodmen. Bees on top, 3-1. Rob Brooks and John Marks back with you. Beautiful Modern Woodmen Park on a sunny Monday afternoon. Great day for baseball. So far, the Bees in command. 3 runs on 7 hits and 1 error. For the Bandits, 1 run on 2 hits and a couple of errors. And we'll see if they can keep it close. Burlington will try to scratch across a couple more runs and then see what happens in the end. Neither one of these teams have done a great job this season of holding leads.
No, you're right, Robin. That's been the bugger with both sides. And here's been the problems for the River Bandits is the bottom of the order creating some havoc.
Gerald Hall has reached a couple of times, walked and scored back in the 3rd, and then had that beautiful drag bunt down the 3rd baseline in the 5th inning to get things started. And he ended up scoring along with Richardson, the 2 runs in the 5th inning.
The little pesky guys drive you nuts. Drop a bunt, steal a bag.
And there's a punch out for Calhoun, and Hall couldn't believe it, but will find his way to the Bees dugout. And you talk about the bottom of the order. Adam Frost of the Burlington Bees not even in the lineup today, and he's hitting a .344 and had a big game yesterday.
And he's at that bottom, yeah, and he gets the day off.
Was 3 for 4 yesterday out of that 9 hole, scored 2 runs.
Some people look at it as that 9 hitter is that second leadoff hitter.
There's a bunt attempt by Richardson.
They are not afraid to make things and put pressure on the defense. I love that. Go right after people.
Well, the Burlington Bees have been a lot of fun to watch the last couple of years. Terrific teams. And people familiar with that community, one of the smallest communities that still has organized minor league baseball, along with Clinton, Iowa.
Exactly.
So both of the smallest cities in the country to have organized minor league baseball right here in the state of Iowa. And Burlington, they've done a tremendous job in keeping baseball in the Midwest League, because it is certainly not easy. The business has really changed, and Jackson has one roll up his arm, and Richardson will be on at first base. The second error of the game for the shortstop Jackson.
What he did is, and here's a routine ball, two steps to the left. I mean, he feels this 300 times a day in early work. Goes to the left, and he looks up and sort of glances because he sees, who's running. The guy runs very well, and he's got to hurry things, so he takes his eye off the ball for a split second, and it rolls up your arm.
Batista at 247 hits one hard into right field, but right at Rodriguez, who makes the catch. First pitch swinging by Davey Batista.
Rob, you mentioned today's the 50th anniversary of the Midwest League, and you make a great point. The Clintons and give Cedar Rapids some credit as well. It's the community here is a 400,000 person community. Those are 50,000, and then Cedar Rapids 100. You could tell me more. 100,000 people where you make it happen, and they're not 100 miles apart, and that's the beauty of these organizations. And Peoria just down the road.
And there's a base hit to left, and all of a sudden runners on at first and second, and we could go through, too, Johnny, a laundry list of teams that haven't been able to sustain it for 50 years. And of course, the Quad Cities, one of the top franchises in the Midwest League and also the country. But you kind of see minor league baseball heading east to where more populated areas are. The Burlingtons and the Clintons, that's kind of a thing of a past. A town of 50 to 60,000 would never entertain having a team.
Not anymore.
You're seeing at least the Midwest League. The expansion has been toward Dayton, Ohio.
Southeast and
the state of Michigan. And then 2 new teams have entered into play this year. Lake County, who's affiliated with the Cleveland Indians. Well, that's in a very populated area near Cleveland, Ohio.
It creates larger markets. Of course, everybody wants revenue, and I understand that. And if you build a facility where people come and sit and enjoy it, fine. But there still should be a place, Rob, I agree with you. There still should be a place for the Clintons, the Burlingtons, et cetera, because of the dues. And here, look at the dues paid all these years for the sacrifices of people within the framework of those communities to make sure that professional baseball, people kind of stub their nose. Well, I disagree. I think they're great entities and should never leave.
And it's a benefit to those communities to still have baseball, and there's enough people that have rallied around to keep it and try to make it go. Another team that has joined the Midwest League is Bowling Green, Kentucky, the Bowling Green Hot Rods. So, point being, there's that eastern exposure that has now come into play, the Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky area. It's not just Iowa and Illinois and Wisconsin any longer.
And it used to be Beloit, et cetera. And then, South Bend used to be that furthest point. And, they saw the success with that franchise.
And now the bases are loaded as Lewis draws the walk. That'll bring up Carlo Testa. But now 16 teams in the Midwest League.
And let's take a step. It is an affordable entity for a family. I hope that never changes. I'll use this as a prime example. Clinton, Burlington, Cedar Rapids, Iowa, places you can have a nice time with your family. The most expensive part of this facility is $500 or $600 for a suite, and you can bring 12, 15 people. So, my goodness, you can't even get into a big league ballpark for that.
And I think a lot of people have caught on because you look at minor league attendance throughout the country has really grown, especially in the last 5 years.
This is, and I'll use me, this is the best family entertainment for me, and this is when I get a chance to hang out with the fellas. This is still the best opportunity. So, no, we're better. And you have the backdrop, and it's warm, and it's nice, and any ballpark to me is a perfect setting. So,
well said. Here's the 2-1.
Oh, you got to wear that.
Ooh, yeah. I thought I almost caught a piece of him, but
Calhoun's aiming the baseball too, and he's got himself in a spot of trouble because his shortstop didn't pick up a ground ball, and now there we get back. Now you're going to make a pitch.
We're back to that mental side again.
Got to make a pitch here.
Nobody up in the River Bandits bullpen. Here's a check swing. They'll appeal down to third.
He just walked one in.
Did not go, and that is ball 4. And Richardson will cross the plate, and the Bees go up 4-1. So that's 2 walks in the inning, John, and Richardson reached on an error.
You talk about that mental makeup. You have to. You can't compound the error. That's what separates the pitchers who reaches the next level. And Calhoun has great skill, and it's his mess to get out of. You have to pick up your infielder and go from there. And you can't do it by walking people. If there's 4 base hits to follow you, you know what? The guys in the dugouts can live with that. You can't live with. And people are on their heels. We have to throw strikes.
We just saw a look at the bullpen. No action.
No action.
So it's all Calhoun for now. Oriental and looks at ball 1 as Calhoun just misses outside.
9 times out of 10 after a visit, the next pitch is a fastball.
Oriental has had an outstanding day. There's a strike called. Doubled back in the second, reached on an error in inning number 4, and singled to start things off in the 6th. So he has been on base 3 times and has a huge opportunity to blow this game open right now, and had a good rip at that one.
Cookie, and there it was. That would have busted thing if he squares that thing up on the end. Wow. Calhoun got away with one there. Oriental missed it.
He has just 1 home run, 7 driven in. Average at 241, and that's not bad for this league.
No, not this early, and being the schedule that you keep.
And for a lot of these players, and there's a strike 3 called on the inside corner. So the River Bandits are able to get out of the inning. They do walk in 1. We have played 6.5 from Modern Woodmen. Bees on top, 4-1. Rob Brooks and John Marks back with you. Modern Woodmen Park, 4-1 in favor of the Bees, and it's time for the S.J. Smith 7th inning stretch scoring summary.
And Burlington gets on the board first with a knock, and that's Gerard Harrell in the 2nd inning. We'll see Hilton Richardson scoring on the Will Myers. Oh, that's the Nico Vasquez home run for the River Bandits. But he's improved dramatically. And we'll see the Myers rip and a ball that rolls all the way to the wall, and he gets a double and plates a bundle. Hall and Richardson.
And that was the big hit of the game.
Yep. And then the walk.
The walked in run in the top of the 7th inning.
Nick Woolley is on for to finish for Brian Pokovits, who pitched 6 innings, gave up 2 hits, a run that was earned, had 4 walks and 5 strikeouts. Woolley is in game number 5, 1-1 with a 6.14 ERA. He started 2 games. He's pitched 14 2/3 innings, given up 20 hits, 10 runs, 10 earned, 9 walks, and 17 strikeouts, Rob.
And the 6'2 right-hander delivers another ball, 2-0. He's a 12th rounder. Played at Idaho Falls a year ago. Well, you look at this Burlington Bees roster from a pitching standpoint. You've got 6'5", 6'4", 6'7", 6'7", 6'2", 6'2", 6'2". Intimidating.
Fred Hoiberg and Coach Mack from Iowa will be stopping by later just to see if these guys can play basketball. That's a huge for Jackson to get that walk, get his club something started.
So with 1 down, Jackson on at first base. And Jim Gabella's got to be saying, oh no.
Here we go.
Here we go again.
We get into the 7th. and you're up 3.
Ingram with a good cut, strike one. DeMarcus Ingram had that triple back in the 3rd, walked in the 5th after striking out in the 1st inning. Well, you look at Jackson, Ingram. If the River Bandits could get a couple on with 1 down, with some pretty good speed, would have an excellent opportunity.
Yep. And as we've talked many times, they play well from behind. This club does, which is a testimony to Johnny Rodriguez and the makeup of these young people.
Yes, his bullpen has struggled, as has the Bees as well. Baseball-wise, Johnny Rodriguez told me they ought to be 20-5, 21-4, but just could not close the door on several occasions. Really hurt him last week in that 3-game set at Kane County where they got swept.
That'll test your mental makeup in a hurry.
Especially after getting off to a great start. You kind of looked at the River Bandits, and there goes the runner. Throw down to first. It's in plenty of time. What an arm.
Oh, my goodness. If you hadn't seen that, folks, and you hadn't had an opportunity to realize why Myers is a 3rd-round draft choice and so highly regarded, I don't have the stopwatch, but that's like, hey, okay, come on. Wow. He shot that out of a cannon. My Lord.
We've told you about the 2 outstanding catching prospects that we are seeing here today. Richardson drifts back, and Ingram is retired. So 3 up and 3 down in the bottom of the 7th. I don't know what that was behind the plate there, but it was
howitzer.
It was fast down to second on the stolen base. 4-1 Bees. 4-1 in favor of the Bees as we push to the 8th inning. And during the break, John, we're talking about Will Myers and that outstanding throw that he made down to second base to get to Jackson trying to steal. You've been around the game a long time and seen some outstanding catchers. That had to be about as quick as you could find.
If definitely less than 2. He might have been 1.8, 1.85. Of the 30 times in roughly guessing with a stopwatch on Joe Mauer when he was here, who the premier player in baseball right now with Albert Pujols. I never once did in any situation have him above 2.0 from home to second throwing a baseball. 1.8, 1.85 a lot, 1.9 on a bad day. So that he just put himself in pretty good company, and that's why he's a high draft pick, and they have high hopes for him. He throws and swings it pretty good.
There's a 2-hopper to Vasquez. Fields and fires over to first, and Cruz is retired. And that's always kind of the fun thing, too. You start to think about all the years of professional baseball here in the Quad Cities and some of the great names that have been around. I mean, Chuck Tanner was a manager here, and it's just fun to go through.
My favorite's Carney Land, obviously Mike Butcher, who's a friend who pitched here on his way to the big leagues with the Angels. But Chad Curtis might be my parents got to be good friends with Chad and his wife. We used to have a group down in the right field beer garden when Sean Dunston was playing short. How many balls will you get him to throw the ball over first base, and you would get in that would land over there because he had such a amazing.
1983.
Oh my goodness, just wind it up and throw it all over the place. And I saw Willie Mays Aikens when he was in the Angels organization hit the ball in the Mississippi River, and Billy Wagner got an opportunity to catch Billy Wagner once. When talking to Chuck Finley, the minute. Moments before he got the XLN in Waterloo, I think was where he got the word that he was going to the big leagues from here. So, Aaron Miles used to take batting practice with him, and when he was here.
Vasquez another opportunity and sails this one well past Adams.
Vintage Dunston.
That was a long throw. You just kind of had a bad feeling about that, and that'll be an error on the third baseman. Justin Morneau, of course.
Interference. Oh, my goodness, yes.
Now, Jim Gabella is coming out to have a word with One of the 4 umpires working today's game.
We got pull out all the stops today. Yeah, and I don't remember Brian Harper much when he's one of the great players here. Jim Edmonds, Garrett Anderson, 2 of my all-time good guys. Damien Easley, Kevin Floor, wonderful young men that, but I think Curtis might be the favorite of all as far as guys that you could pick up the phone today and see how he's doing, and he would never changed. And Joe Mauer, I think, might have been the best player.
Yeah, when he came here, you knew that it wasn't going to be long until he made it to the big leagues.
Orlando Palmeiro won a batting title, too. What a great role player he became in the big leagues.
One on, foul territory. And it'll drop in and give another opportunity for Jared Hall. How many home runs have you seen go into the Mississippi River?
Aikens is pretty close. I can't remember balls that Jeff Gay, who was a Quad City Angel many years ago in '90 when they won the championship, hit a ball that might have got there, but Aikens' ball left here and got over the and what people don't know is there's a great deal of space behind.
There's a bunt to the left side, fielded, and the play is at first. Calhoun did a nice job fielding his position, but gets a runner over in scoring position.
So, Richard Hidalgo hit a ball, would be over into the park area. So, probably the Willie Mays Aiken ball's the farthest, easily. Boy, it was just amazing. And it kept going up and up.
Here's one for you. Emil Drazajic.
Here?
When he played for Cedar Rapids here, I remember as a kid sitting down the first baseline, left-handed hitter. Never really did much in professional baseball, but just hit one that had to be even with the light tower beyond right field and easily made it into the river. Longest ball I think I've ever seen hit.
I will have to defer to the Aikens ball, but you know what? I've seen some line drives. Get out of here in a hurry. Hidalgo was a doubles guy who, when the ball got up in the air a little. All good guys. You can count on the hand, and you know this, Rob, from being around the Midwest League, that on one hand, the guys that weren't friendly in all these years.
Right.
Just kids. I mean, that's it. The bottom line. Kids trying to make a dime and play the game.
And kind of there's what we're talking about. That gives you an outstanding view from behind home plate.
It's a hard place to leave, folks. I can tell you that. It's just a hard place to leave. Home ball has to get up and get out of here, and you've got wind and river and everything.
And there's a called third strike on the inside corner. And Calhoun does a good job fielding his position and gets a strikeout to get out of the inning. River Bandits need to get those bats going. 7.5 complete, 4-1, Burlington. Don't forget, we'll have some college baseball coming up, and the Hawkeyes and the Leathernecks will return to MC22 to face off right here at Modern Woodmen Park on the 18th of May. So come on down to the park and cheer on Western Illinois and the Iowa Hawkeyes on that Tuesday to watch the Big Ten Summit League matchup, and then you can catch the replays on MC22 later that week. The Leathernecks will look to avenge last year's loss to the Hawkeyes right here on the banks of the Mississippi, and those two teams have already played several times this season. Most of them have come right down to the wire.
Yeah, good. I think Iowa is going in the right direction. I'm a big Jack Dom fan, and Western is always going to be fighting that uphill battle as a Division I program, but they work hard and they'll have success. We've had a lot of young people from this area go to Western and play baseball. Wear that.
Somehow get on base in this situation.
You never think about that when the ball's coming at you.
Rayo at 230 this season. Iowa lost 2 out of 3 to Minnesota over the weekend, but the Gophers had a very good baseball team. And that Big Ten, if you look at the standings, really up for grabs.
And Willie Argo from Davenport Assumption's having a great year for Illinois.
Is.
And Coach Anderson does a great job at Minnesota. They're always ready to play the game.
See if the River Bandits can get the lead runner on in the inning, and there it is.
Now, who do you see, and we'll step over because you do Iowa softball. Who's the best team that you've seen in the Big Ten women's softball-wise?
Well, Michigan, I think, is the best team. They're ranked second in the country. I haven't seen them yet. Ohio State and Illinois. Illinois has a very, very good team this year. Really swing the bats well. So those certainly 1, 2, 3, and Iowa fighting for the first division.
No gimmies in that league. None. It's just like football.
Real competitive. Stidham looked like he might have squared the bunt, pulled back for ball 1.
I think he wanted to see a pitch to see where everyone would move. It's going to make him throw a strike because he's struggling.
Walk back in the first. Hits one to short. Out at second. The relay in time. Hall did a nice job getting that double play going.
Nice hand. And Stidham hit the ball hard the other way. Simple 6-4-3. Nice turn in the middle. Nice exchange. And an accurate throw to your first baseman.
We've seen 2 smooth 6-4-3 double plays today.
It's a great way to get you. A minute ago you were wondering, well, what happens now? Are they going to make that rally? Is this club? Is it going to happen to Burlington again? Or he makes a pitch and Woolley makes a pitch and gets a 2-ball.
So here's Adams, and he takes strike 1. So some of the most consistent hitters so far this season for the River Bandits have not done a lot of damage so far today in the middle of the order. This one hit to Batista at second. Over to first, a low throw. Gratterall had to go down and get that one to keep Adams from being safe at first base. So a 6-4-3 double play by Burlington helps their cause. Bees on top by 3. The River Bandits return home this Friday to begin a 6-game homestand against the Clinton Lumber Kings and also the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. So come on down to Modern Woodmen for the Circle of Life maternity and newborn giveaways Friday night. Ought to be a lot of fun. Single game and mini plan tickets are also available at www.riverbandits.com. So reserve your seats today. That's a fun promotion. A lot going on this weekend.
You go, yes. Yep. Everywhere you turn. Again, it covers the whole gamut. How would you like the field trip? This is perfect. If you're a junior high grade schooler, then you got here at 10:30, and you're hanging. You don't have to go back to school. This is beautiful.
Oh heck no!
Oh my goodness!
This hit a mile in the air. Parejo camps underneath, and against the cloudy sky, found the baseball.
It has clouded up a tad, but it was a bright high blue sky to start the ball game, and it made for tough reads as the ball went up.
Well, here's Will Myers. We'll get another look at him. He is 2 for 4 so far today, but really did some damage back in that 5th inning with that rope that went all the way to the wall in left center field.
You know what? And Kelly got ahead of him with a fastball, and then hung a breaker, and he sat on it. And I had just commented that he's going to have to speed, make an adjustment, learn to speed up his bat a little, and Kelly hangs one, and he banged it.
Great size at 6'3", 200. Yep. Hits this one off the fist, high in the air, shallow center field, and Parejo comes in to make the catch.
Hey, set a record. One away from setting a record.
5,390 here at Modern Woodmen on a Monday.
What a great.
Should have been more.
Yeah. Perfect Monday.
It's always kind of a good feeling when you mid-afternoon. Well, what am I going to do next?
I just drew
Where should I
$5 grand.
go?
Yeah.
Is there another game somewhere?
We'll have the Midwest League. These umpires will be working somewhere else tonight, I'm sure.
On the ground, Vasquez takes his time, and the side is retired. 3 up and 3 down in the top of the 9th for the Bees. Last chance coming up for the River Bandits. 4-1 Bees. Rob Brooks and John Marks back with you. Modern Woodmen Ballpark, bottom of the 9th, 4-1 in favor of the Bees. 5, 6, and 7 due up. Vasquez gets set to lead things off. Started the season as the leadoff hitter and has been pushed down the order. Swinging a pretty good bat as of late. 3rd rounder in the 2008 draft. Was right here in the Quad Cities and also Batavia. Last year, combined average of 203.
Down 3 or more, you might see, and he just did it, Vasquez, you'll probably see each hitter take till they get a strike.
246 this season. Check swing, no appeal down to first. So important in these situations, John, to get that leadoff hitter on base. Put some pressure on the opposition.
And on the other side, you're up 3 runs, throw strikes. Doesn't matter what happens. If he gets a base hit, fine. You can live with that as a manager. But if you walk a guy.
Tried to guide that one in and walked on 5 pitches. And we'll see if there'll be some activity in the Burlington bullpen.
See if Rodriguez can. Wow.
He's taken some vicious rips today. Doesn't have anything to show for it.
Nope. Now it's time for a little discipline on his end.
Sixth pitch of the inning for Woolley and just the 2nd strike. One upstairs, and he's kind of all over the place.
Yep. And now your lefty, you got a lefty in the bullpen. He's got to start heating up. Reedy Rodriguez is sitting dead red for a ball to drive. Jimmy Gabella's going nuts in him, and you know he's cool and calm, but oh.
And there's a slow roller to short. There's 1 at 2, and doubled up at first is Rodriguez. So just what the doctor ordered for the Burlington Bees. And there's 2 down, and Shepard will be the last chance for the River Bandits. John Marks has made his way down on the field, and there is a base hit to right. And now you take a look at that double play, was huge for Burlington. John Marks will bring us the post-game show from the field, so you stay with us after the game. So Shepard delivers his first hit of the afternoon. He's now 1 for 4, and will bring up Robert Stock. Interesting story. Here's Stock. He's out of a pretty good baseball school in USC. Pitched quite a bit in college. Outstanding athlete, and did some catching, and has kind of found his home in professional baseball behind the plate. Was not a great hitter in college, only right around 230. But a 2nd rounder out of last year, first year player draft. Hit 294. He's trying to get his feet under him this season. So far at 192, but flashes all the tools of a potential big league catcher. There goes the runner, and the pitch is in the dirt, and Shepard will be on at second. So that'll be a stolen base for Shepard. And Stock runs the count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Important pitch here for the Bees, and it misses low and in. And Stock draws the walk. And you've got runners at first and second, and Jim Gabella, the 6th-year manager of the Burlington Bees, 7th year with the Royals organization, brings in the entire infield to have a little discussion about what to do here as the tying run comes to the plate. It'll be the shortstop, Jackson. Jackson's reached a couple of times. Walked back in the 7th, reached on an error, and was stranded at 3rd in the 5th, and then grounded out. So Ryan Jackson, last chance for the Quad Cities River Bandits. Runners on at first and second, and a swing and a miss. Boy, he had a vicious rip at that. Jackson played in Batavia last year. Hit 216. 5th round draft pick as the ball gets away and the runners advance. That'll be a wild pitch. Willie has been rattled here trying to close this game off, and in talking to Jim Gabella before the game, that has been an issue this season for Burlington. The bullpen has not been great as this pitch just misses low and away. Same true on the River Bandits side. Bees do have a left-hander up and ready. This pitch well inside, 3-1. Top of the order up next. And this pitch misses badly upstairs. And the bases are loaded. All of this with 2 down. And Jim Gabella will walk out once again to the mound and call for a pitching change. He had seen enough, and we'll go to the 3rd pitcher of the afternoon. As we mentioned, Burlington got off to a very slow start. First couple 3 weeks of the season. Finally got themselves out of last place with a victory yesterday. They've won 2 in a row. That's the 2nd longest win streak in the western half of the Midwest League. Cedar Rapids Colonels have won 4 in a row. Brendan Lafferty, 6'5" left-hander, has come on for the Burlington Bees. 18th rounder in the draft a season ago. He's out of Riverside, California. Played at Idaho Falls a season ago. And he will have to contend with the top of the order. Lafferty so far this season has made 5 appearances, all in relief. He's pitched 17 innings. Earned run average of 3.18. He has 19 strikeouts and has walked 7. Does not have a save this year. made his professional debut a season ago with Idaho Falls, mainly in a relief capacity, and picked up 4 saves in 15 appearances. Graduated from UCLA last year, drafted by the Phillies in the 47th round in 2004, but chose to go ahead and attend college anyway. So the Mediacom business call to the bullpen. Brendan Lafferty. There you see his numbers on the screen. 2 down. Bases full of River Bandits, and a first pitch swing and a miss by Ingram. Important for Lafferty to work ahead in the count. Best scoring opportunity of the day for the River Bandits. And this one fouled straight back and out of play. Ingram had a good cut. Ingram has 1 hit today. That was a triple back in the 3rd. Also reached by way of a walk in inning number 5. .239 this season, trying to add that RBI total. This pitch low in the dirt. Nice stop by Myers. 12 runs driven in for DeMarcus Ingram. Manager Johnny Rodriguez said has been a pleasant surprise this season. The 1-2. And this hit hard toward right. Oriental makes the catch several steps in front of the warning track. Ingram hit it hard, but Oriental had it played perfectly. So a good opportunity goes by the wayside for the River Bandits as the Bees win it 4-1. We'll be back.